Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. I picked up a cool little part from my Losi Tenacity that I wanted to unbox today and show you what's going on. So what I did is picked up the Losi Tenacity Proformance upgrade kit, which according to Losi is the ultimate performance upgrade for your Losi Tenacity. That would be your Tenacity SCT Truggy Desert Buggy, but not your monster truck. So I actually got one of these shortly after I got my monster truck. Turned out it's not compatible with the monster truck as per the box, so I ended up selling it. But after doing some more research, I looked at kind of the parts difference. It looks like for the most part it should fit. Now you will have to get some additional parts. What I'm aware of is that you also need to get the chassis support kit. Also the upper chassis brace. I think you also have to get some of the center dog bones in your center drive train. But for the most part, it looks like it'll just fit right on. So what is this? This is probably the best upgrade you can make for your Losi Tenacity. Namely, it fixes all of the issues, all the things I do not like about my Losi Tenacity. I had a review of my Tenacity MT. Hopefully you've seen that. And some of the main problems I had with that, namely, is the chassis is the number one thing. I can't stand the plastic chassis on that thing with the bottom loading battery tray. That's the worst design ever. Losi, if you're listening, do not ever do that again. But this also addresses a lot of the other issues, like the shocks. It's got all aluminum shocks, including aluminum shock caps. It's got the aluminum shock towers. It's got adjustable turnbuckles, different battery strap. It's got sway bars, all the linkages and stuff. So looks like a really nice upgrade for your Losi Tenacity. Oh, I didn't even realize it had threaded shock bodies. That's really cool. So all the screws, side rails, etc. So yeah, I'm really excited about this kit, and let's take a look inside. So I'm going to just do a little unboxing. I have not seen what's actually in this thing and how it's packaged. So this is pretty cool. Losi, you know, I give credit to Losi because they're really the only company I can think of that does things like this, where they will put out an upgrade part or upgrade kit for stuff that, you know, from a business point of view probably does not make a lot of sense, because, you know, reasonably speaking, you know, how many of these are going to be sold? This thing sells for $100, and not a whole lot of people are going to spend $100 upgrading their Losi Tenacity. So, you know, they're doing this more for the enthusiasts, for the people that just want a little more performance. There's other stuff Losi's done in the past, like or TLR in my case. They also like had this TLR, like I think it's called the support kit or something, but it was like a $15 little kit that had like every screw, every washer, every like little, even body clips, E-clips, pins, just all the little nuts and bolts that you might need for your TLR kits. And so I actually picked one of these up. I think it's been discontinued, but you know, they do stuff like that. Or, you know, with the SCTE, they had this little shock upgrade kit. I think it was like $130, but it basically was a way to convert your SCTE over to the 22 shocks, which are a little bit higher quality. And so yeah, I give a lot of credit to Losi and TLR for putting out neat little products like this that I think they probably even lose money on this stuff, but it's just really nice, more enthusiast type of upgrades, and I'm really happy to see them do stuff like that. So let's go see what's actually in the box. As you can see, shock towers. These look cast to me. I'm not sure they're actually machine billet or billet, however you pronounce that. Little, what is this? I don't know what that is. Some kind of shock spacer or something. Your little washers, etc., standoffs. The shock body, some nice little aluminum pieces with aluminum shock caps. Preload adjusters, they're threaded, very nice to see. You got the sway bars front and rear, I'm imagining. Very thick sway bars. The adjustable turnbuckles with the little plastic shock caps, hollow balls, etc. And then the actual chassis itself, I think it's like 3 millimeters or so. It does look like to be a cast piece, maybe a cast piece of aluminum that's been machined. I can't really quite tell, I'm not a machinist, but the plastic side rails, the battery strap, etc. So yeah, anyways, I'm pretty excited about this. I'll put this together on my Losi Tenacity MT and let you know what other parts I needed to convert my monster truck to use this, because out of the box you do need a few other things than just this kit, but it didn't look too bad, so yeah. Okay, we got the Tenacity converted over with the Proformance kit. Took a few hours. I also was cleaning up the truck and rebuilding some of the diffs and stuff while I was at it, so it took a little longer than normal, but it's a few hours of worth of work. Pretty much it's almost like building a whole kit. I mean, because you're basically doing the whole chassis, rebuilding the whole shocks, taking out the shock towers, all the body mounts, moving everything over. So it is a little bit of work. So the parts needed if you're running the Tenacity MT, as mentioned, you're going to need this top brace here. You're going to need these little support braces here, front and rear. And then one more piece you're going to need is the rear drive shaft. The front drive shaft fits fine, but the rear one was just a little bit too long, so you're going to have to get the rear drive shaft. So that's about $30 worth of parts you'll have to buy in addition to the Proformance kit if you're running the monster truck version of the Tenacity. Otherwise, pretty much bolts right on, no issues. So some tips on the build. Number one, you want to have all the turnbuckles facing the same direction. As you can see, there's like a little line on each of these turnbuckles. They should all be on the left hand side. That's the normal way you build them, but other than that, that's pretty much normal. Other tips with the shocks, they are a little bit tricky. To get off the bottom end caps, I do recommend getting a pair of 12mm and 14mm 6-point hex wrenches. You basically put this around the shock body and this around the bottom end cap, and that way you can unscrew the plastic end cap. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to get off. That was pretty much the only way I found to do that. And then make sure you get out the bottom shock insert and the O-ring. They're black colored and the shock body's black colored, so pretty easy to miss those. And then on the pistons, on the front there's no spacer, but on the rear there is actually a little black spacer right underneath the piston. Make sure you move that over. And then in the shock caps themselves, the stock shock caps have this little steel insert, or I don't know, I guess you call it a steel ring. I did not use those on the aluminum shocks. I don't think you need them. I think they're mainly to help provide a better seal on the plastic shock caps. So when you go to the metal ones, I don't think you have to use them. Let me know if you found otherwise, but I think I just skipped those. Other tips, you have to reverse the bell crank here. So normally the drag link here is on the inside. On the monster truck, you got to flip it over and put it out here on the outside. And other than that, I think it pretty much went together fine. I did need to pick up a few more screws that were not with the kit, at least for my monster truck. Some of these screws here on the bottom, I think I was missing a few, and then some of the screws on top, these 10mm button heads, I did need to pick up a few of those as well. So those, it's hard to keep track of all the screws. Maybe they were in the kit, but I couldn't quite find them, so I did end up grabbing some out of my parts box. Another tip is that pretty much everything that mounts into a metal piece, like the aluminum shock towers or the aluminum chassis, these pieces are thinner than the original pieces. So I think these are somewhere around 4mm here and 3mm here. So the thickness is a little bit narrower, which means you want to make sure those screws that you're putting through those parts are not too long. So double check the depths on each of these screw holes. Otherwise you can tend to, basically drive them a little bit too far through the shock towers or the the chassis pieces and that kind of thing. So always double check all the holes before you put those screws in. Other than that, everything seemed to go together pretty well. Nice little kit. These aluminum pieces are definitely cast aluminum. They're not machine billet aluminum, so a little bit lower quality. They are made in China, so these are not what I would consider TLR level aluminum pieces. They are a little bit lower spec, but still nice pieces overall. Definitely give it a nice look to the truck overall, and a pretty cool upgrade. I'm glad to see Losi do this. So yeah, I'm gonna actually do some more driving with this truck now that I've got it all put together. It's almost too nice to bash out, so maybe I'll just take it to the track and drive around there and see how it performs. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Tenacity Proformance kit, that's what it looks like installed, and some tips there, especially if you're converting your monster truck. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe to my channel. As always, hit the add notifications button and look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.